Welcome, everybody, to Edge of the Rabbit Hole here on Connecting the Universe. I'm your host, author, and researcher Mike Ricksecker. With me, as always, my co-host is Victoria Mundae. And down in the chat room, Alina moderating the chat. We have a fantastic guest with us this evening. Shane Pittman is with us. Of course, you will recognize him from 28 Days Haunted, the Holzer Files. Just launched the new Beacon streaming TV service, which we're going to be talking about tonight. And we'll be talking about all things paranormal. So, Shane, welcome. It's great to have you tonight.
Thank y'all so much for having me. It's been a while. I know I've been a guest before, but it's been
a while,
hasn't it? Yeah.
It was Edge of the Rabbit Hole 1. It was before we took the break.
Before we took the big break.
Yeah.
I know. Well, I feel special that I've been invited back. So thank y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, we've been friends for a while, and I've always admired your work. And now you have this new streaming TV service. And before we get to that, 1 second, because I forgot to mention, for those listening to the audio podcast later, please join us out here every week, Wednesday nights, 8:00 p.m. Eastern Time. ConnectedUniversePortal.com and the Mike Ricksecker channel. And actually, we are streaming live in the Edge of the Rabbit Hole channel again as well. So throwing it out all over the place. But yeah, so Shane, tell us about this new Beacon streaming TV service.
Yeah, so it all came about, if people don't know much about me, I was on the Holzer Files on Travel Channel and Discovery Plus, and then I was also on Netflix, a show called 28 Days Haunted. And this was around the time where the programming and everything was booming. The paranormal shows were all over the place, right? And fast forward to present day, a lot of them are being canceled. It's going through kind of a weird time right now. And there's a lot of shows that are just being dropped from networks left and right. And so me and my business partner, Josh Purvis, he also one of my best friends, we just sat down and we're like, we already have a production company, Lights Out Industries. We know how to film some of the stuff and produce some things. So let's try it ourselves. Let's just start something. And practice, when we were thinking that, we're like, oh man, this is going to be easy. Definitely not easy. It's been a learning curve, but you know what? There's something to say about starting something and having the creative freedom to be able to produce things that we know viewers are going to want to watch, but to be able to make the calls, to be able to air things the way that we feel they should be aired, and give our creators the creative freedom to be themselves, So it all stemmed from wanting to start something and to give back to the viewers, to actually give them something that they can watch, to show, bring some of the shows back that they're wanting to see, and kind of do it in a way that's for them, and not just network pleasing, and not just to line our pockets. That's not what it's about at all.
Yeah. And we do have the link down in the description, StreamBeaconTV.com. So be sure to check that out. And yeah, just, checking it out. The format, when you go there, it has like a very kind of Netflix type feel, top picks, new releases, all of these sorts of things. So it looks very, very professional, which like you said, probably was not easy to do that and get all that set up. But let me ask you, since you mentioned it, with like cancellation of a lot of the television shows and things like this, I mean, what is the kind of feel out there for kind of some of the more traditional television, and why do you think they are canceling these sorts of things when obviously there's a demand for it?
Well, what I think it boils down to, honestly, Mike, is money. I think that networks are looking at, okay, where can we shave off things and place wherever we were spending that money, put it into more of A-list type content, because they think that that's what's going to bring the viewers in. And I think they end up messing themselves up when they're doing that, because we've seen Netflix do it, where they bring all these A-list actors to do a show, and they spend millions of dollars, and their return is horrible. They don't get the viewership that they were wanting. I think a lot of the money is going to that, and they're trying to pivot and trying to rely on recognizable faces to bring subscribers. I just think it's not working at all. They're not listening to the viewers and what they want. Because like you said, the demand is there for the paranormal content, for UFO content, for spiritual content. The demand's out there. It's just they're not really listening to the viewer at all.
Yeah, and when they have tried to, like really jumpstart, like just recently here, let's have Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight, and then you get
which was a disappointment. I'm sorry to say. I've been on
the girl fight was better.
Yeah, that fight was awesome, and Serrano got screwed with that.
I think so. I mean, that was a pretty close fight. I was kind of tossed. It was like if either one. I thought, I could see it, but I guess when it became a unanimous, it was like,
we're talking boxing right now, and we won't very long, but she threw like 100 more punches and landed 100 more punches. So it's like, I don't, and she, Taylor got a deduction. So I don't even see how they.
Well, that's true too. Yeah. For the headbutting. Right. But you see something like that where, here's big time subscription service and they can't even get it right. I mean, basically what I did is I rewound 5 minutes and, tried to stream from there, which still, was a bit iffy. I mean, you're a startup, so, how are you handling, that type of, I mean, I guess I had like 60 million. I'm guessing you don't have 60 million yet, but still,
no, unfortunately,
I imagine it still has its challenges.
Yeah, there's challenges, and I think we look at all of these streaming services, and of course, you got to look at them in a way as competition. Now, Netflix is not even in our ballpark right now, but we look at some other ones, and we look at okay, well, where's some things where we can do things maybe more efficiently. That's for the viewer. Again, it's not just something for aesthetics, stuff that makes our streaming service look good, but how is it going to be efficient? How are, we do live streaming as well. How, do we have the bandwidth? Do we have, will our servers be able to handle the load and all that stuff? And we look at that and we try to plan ahead as best as we can. And we just try to learn from other people's mistakes sometimes, so we don't make the same mistakes. And again, I know I say it all the time, but it's really all about the viewer. Of course, you got to have money to produce these shows and to make sure that your teams are paid, like your marketing team and your acquisitions team. But even right now in the early stages, the owners, me, Josh, Mike, we're not taking a salary right now. We're not. Everything's going right back into the business because we really want to make it the best it can be for everybody that's watching. So
it's good. It's good. So talk a little bit about the content here. This is the new releases. So you have a lot of interesting things here. So what's the type of content that you're looking for? Paranormal, true crime, this sort of stuff, right?
Yeah, so we have true crime. We have things in the horror genre, like Evil Things is like a found footage type show. Town Full of Ghosts is the same type feel as a found footage type scripted show. And that's all backlog type content. It's backfill content. So we basically purchase distribution rights to have those on our platform that's been produced by other production companies and things like that. But we're also doing Beacon Originals. So all of this content that we're putting on the platform right now, it's for the viewer to watch until we get our originals start rolling in, where people can watch that as well, which you'll see a lot of familiar faces with that. And we're super excited.
What can we expect with a Beacon Original?
Yeah, so we just got back from filming Adventures with Rochelle, the road trip, which is with Brian Murray and Rochelle Stratton from A&E Ghost Hunters. and it's basically showing their dynamic and how they interact with each other and how they investigate together. We were in New England doing that, so you're going to see that show that's going to be coming out early next year. Also, a lot of fans have been asking for the Holzer Files to return, and while we can't call it the Holzer Files, and we can't necessarily focus on Holzer's cases primarily, we are coming back. Me, Dave, and Cindy are coming back with a brand new show that's going to be out in 2025 that we're super excited for. We don't have the name. I don't have the name to be able to tell you right now. But we're in pre-production, getting things lined up as far as cases and things like that. So it's basically the Holzer Files feel with the team and everything.
And I think everybody liked you as a team, and that was really what it was. I mean, the angle there with Dr. Hans Holzer's cases was fantastic, but I think the viewers really liked the way the three of you interacted together.
Yeah, and what you see on screen is basically how it is off screen. Like, we are a TV family, and it's very rare that you're able to have that carry over in that way. But we've been wanting to do something for a long time because we weren't done with the Holzer Files. We had so much work left to do. We were trying to do the best we could with Holzer's cases and to bring additional info to light and to try to do those justice in our modern times here versus how Hans did things in the 60s and all of that. We had so much more work to do, and because of network decisions and stuff, unfortunately we weren't able to continue. So we've been talking about it for a while, and we're like, there's still a ton of cases out there. There's a ton of things that we can still do. We can still bring our style of investigating to the table, and bring all of you along for the ride. And so thankfully it all lined up where I have Beacon TV now, and thankfully we have some funding to where we can continue that. And we're also bringing our showrunner from the Holzer Files to the new show. So it's going to have, so it's going to have the same storytelling, same structure as much as possible as we had in the past, and hopefully we can do it even better than the first time. So
that's great.
Okay, so I have questions now. Original content, sir. Are you looking for para-celebs, or will Jim Bob Joe have a chance?
That's a very good question. So we're looking for anybody that will bring value to the viewer. Okay. Whether that is somebody that you've seen on TV before or not, or somebody you've never seen before. But I will say that we're very meticulous and very careful on what we put on the platform, because I think that matters too. Yes. Like of course, the viewers, they have different styles and different opinions on how things are supposed to go. But I think the overall consensus is you're wanting to see people with integrity. You're wanting things done in the field. You want that treated with integrity, and you want to see value. And so we're looking for value whenever we're looking for even new creators or ones that have been on TV before too.
Okay, let's say hypothetically, Jim Bob has like a 30-year career in television and does the paranormal stuff on the side. Don't know who that could be. But Jim Bob has an idea. Now, did you
rename yourself Jim Bob?
I think that's what happened, Mike.
I am called many things here. We don't want to go into that, but I was called Missy one time, and that was our dog, and she'd been dead for 30 years. So I'm thinking,
oh wow,
I don't know.
Oh Lord,
it's like, I don't think I want to be called the dead dog's name. Anyway, let's say Jim Bob or Jimmy Johns or whatever,
or Vicky Sue.
No, I get Debbie and Barbara a lot. I don't know why. I think it's
I like Vicky Sue. That's kind of a funny name. Vicky Sue's a good one.
I get Vicky Lynn sometimes, and I say that is not my name. My name is Victoria.
Yeah.
So, anyway, forgot my question. Oh, okay. Let's say Vicky Sue has an idea. Now, does she need to submit one show of excellent quality, and you're going to go, "Oh my God, where has she been my entire life?" Or do you need like 10 in the can? And is there a vetting process? And if so, what is it?
That's a good question. So it just depends on the situation. I think we're early on in the process where we can review a lot more that comes to the table. Like if you email us, and I think we are at the capacity right now where we can review pretty much anything and see if there's some value that can be brought to the platform. I think as we grow, though, it's going to be a lot harder, and we have to be way more selective because there's going to be more coming in. But we've already had a ton of some submissions, so we're kind of going through those kind of in the order it's been received, and kind of that way we give everybody a chance to be heard or be seen at least, and we try to respond to those people as much as possible. With our schedule being how it is, it's very hard. But I would say just a blanket answer is we're trying to review everybody's submissions, and you can just email us at contact@StreamBeaconTV.com, and we'll have our team take a look, and we'll check it out.
I'm sorry. Would you need a complete show, or just like a clip, a highlight reel, a demo, or
you can have a pitch deck. You can have an idea that you want to bring to the table. We're more than happy to for our company and all that stuff to sign NDAs and stuff. If you have an idea that you're worried about it's going to be taken and produced without your permission,
Seen that happen before.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot, especially in the network age. But so we'd be happy to sign NDAs beforehand, take a look at it, even give feedback, even if we don't have it, have the capability to put it on the platform. If you're wanting to hear feedback and any of that, or we'll do our best to try to get feedback and all of that too.
Okay.
And so even if it doesn't go on the platform, here's another thing. So me and Josh, we have a production company, and we own our own equipment, and we have cinema cameras and all that. If you have a project that you want us to produce, and even if it can't go on Beacon, we'd be happy to talk and help out in that regard as well. So
okay, you like read my mind and stuff, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Can I switch gears just a little bit? Josh is awesome.
Josh he's like I said, he's one of my best friends, and he is a wizard when it comes to camera work. I'm super proud of him. Me and him, we kind of mesh well together, and he's a very talented guy.
He is so nice.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart of a guy. Me and him butt heads a lot, but at the end of the day, I think it only betters everything that we're doing, because we're not afraid to talk to each other and say, okay, well, it could be like this. Well, maybe it could be like this. And we kind of butt heads sometimes, but he is a fantastic guy and very talented at what he does. Super proud that I've partnered with him. And we also have Mike Cook, who is the third owner of Beacon. And he was on Alaskan Triangle, if you remember that show.
I may have been on that. Yeah.
Not familiar.
I was trying to be facetious there, but if you remember that, I think he was on the second season or something like that.
He was in the second season.
Yeah, second season. But he's a tech guy. He knows his tech, and he knows it well. Super proud to have him on board as well, to kind of help us with all the technical side of things, which can get a little tricky when it comes to streaming and the servers and everything else we have to deal with. So got a good team in place.
Last plug, my degree's in production. If you need some remote work,
Okay.
You know, just
okay. Hey,
I'm
you
serious.
Send him a resume.
Better be careful what you're asking for, because we
I
have
have
a
sent
lot
him
of
my
stuff.
resume. I sent him my LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
There you go.
You're like, what the hell is all this?
Because we're having a lot of stuff coming through, coming up. So
Yeah,
may have
I'm
a lot
actually
of
a
work for
remote
you.
worker. I work remotely. This is where I spend my day, except there's usually a cat over there instead of an alien. But
No,
he's
we'll
usually
definitely
here.
keep you in mind. Like I said, we're 2025 is full steam ahead. If
Mhm.
you've heard of Kalani, Ghost Hunter, the cowboy hat wearing guy, he's doing a show on our platform next year. It's called Ghosts and Grub, where the first season's going to be in the UK, and he's going to be reviewing a lot of the local pubs and stuff, and checking out their
Haunted
food
pub
and-
crawl. There we go.
Yeah, doing that, and then he's going to find a haunted spot in that town and investigate it. So that show's coming out sometime next year. We're in talks with a lot of people that I can't really. Sarah Lemos, she's going to be having a show on the platform. Sherry DeBenedetti we're in talks with her about a potential show that's going to be coming soon. So a lot of good stuff in the works.
Oh, sounds fantastic.
Okay,
So-
I want to ask you about something real quick before we go any further.
All right.
Then y'all can talk. Soul Circle Paranormal. Can you tell me a little bit about that? How did you start it and all that kind of stuff? And what are you looking for?
Yeah. Well, so it originally started with Tara McLeod and Ryan McLeod. They've become really good friends of mine, and we met some years ago at Michigan Paracon, of all places, and where a lot of us have met. That's
where we all meet up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Michigan Paracon. Yeah.
Yeah. God, that's so sad. That's so sad. But met up with them, and they're all about building connect. Like as soon as we linked up, it was almost like we had that connection way before the link up, right?
Yeah.
And they're all about these soul connections. Like you just know when somebody's your person, when somebody is linked with you in some way. And so we kind of started the Soul Circle Paranormal thing and started doing some events that were focused on connections and building friendships and relationships, lasting ones that go just outside of, hey, let's go and investigate this haunted place. Let's have friendships and relationships outside of this that carry on way, way past any of this stuff, right? And that's what Soul Circle Paranormal is basically building connections, building lasting connections with people. And I'm super proud to be a part of that. You can check out our events and all the stuff that we do at soulcircleparanormal.com. And it's kind of got the history of how we started and all that right on the website.
Now, when you're talking about events, because I'm a fairly new person to Soul Circle also, I'm trying to get Tara to come down here to Texas. So I have a great idea for y'all. Would y'all come down and do an event down in Texas?
Yeah, I mean,
she's in
if
Oregon or something.
Yeah, if logistics line up and schedules line up, sure. I mean, I don't think anything is off the table with that. It's just gotta, logistically make sense and all of us get together. But I'd love to do that. That'd be awesome.
Because I think this is like almost on the parallel of Gettysburg. I mean, it's that much importance of history. So
very cool.
Not saying
I'm down. I'm down. Don't tell Tara that, because Tara, I already overwhelmed her. It's like, hey, can we do this? How about let's do this? And she's on it. She's very good at what she does.
Yeah, if I were to mention it to the Kling brothers.
If I bring another idea, she'll be like, oh my God, Shane, how much stuff are you going to put on my plate? Yeah.
Well, I'm
There's always room for Jello.
There is. See, that's a very good point. It's a very good point.
So I'm looking forward to y'all coming down to Lone Star. It's going to be great fun.
It's going to be
next March.
Great. It was. Yeah, it was good. It was good the first time. It's going to be
Mike.
It's going to be even better this year.
I'm there. Yeah.
Are you on the bowling team?
I didn't realize there was a bowling team.
Mike, Shane, are you? Oh my God, there's a bowling team.
I'm not gonna bowl. I may hurt somebody if I try. I'm gonna give it a shot. I will. I
Saturday
will
night.
watch.
Yeah.
I'll watch.
Saturday night. Yeah, they are having paracelebs team up with regular folks. Jim Bob will be there again, I'm sure. And they're going to a bowling alley from the 1800s. So
Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
You got to go.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
I'm going to have my group there.
I'll
so
go and I'll
we'll
go and watch.
Yeah, you can have pizza and beer and watch, Mike bowl.
I'm very good with eating and drinking beer, so it's fine. It's perfect.
The two kind of go hand in hand, yeah. And actually, once you've had enough to drink, then your bowling gets a lot better, or at least
that's true. I may not even remember that I did bowl, so I'm saying right. I'm not going to bowl, but you never know what happened.
This is an antique bowling alley. I'm sure that they don't have electric ball returns or anything, or pin resetters. There's going to be.
No, they probably have a person as a pin setter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
I was about to say, if I have to retrieve it, then it's game over. I'm not going to, no.
Jim Bob will be down there.
Work.
Yeah.
Too much work.
All right. Well, we have some questions here from the chat. Cool. So Sarah's asking, how is your paranormal content different than what we have been exposed to in the past?
That's a very good question too, Sarah. And the best way I can say that is our shows and our content is going to be more character driven. So you're used to seeing formulaic shows like, IR lights and walking up stairs and seeing somebody's backside on camera as y'all are walking upstairs to the attic or whatever. No, it's going to be more character driven. You're going to get to see different people's methods of how they do things, but not just in relation to investigating haunted locations, but you're going to see how they interact with each other. I know whenever I was doing the Holzer Files, if anybody's seen me and Dave in person versus on the Holzer Files, they told us on the Holzer Files, look, this is a serious show, so you can't really cut up and laugh and do all of that because we've got goals that we got to, y'all have things you have to do, and it's a serious show, which we completely agree with. But at the same time, people were missing out on mine and Dave's banter back and forth.
I want to see the personalities.
Yeah, we laugh a lot, and we just have a good time and enjoy each other's company. And I think if people saw that a little bit more, it would bring even more viewers to the table because they can relate to that. They have people in their lives that they get along with in that way. So, being able to show that on our platform and being able to have the creative freedom to be able to let people be them, I think is what sets us apart from everybody else.
Yeah, another thing I like seeing, and not very many paranormal shows really did this, but where, okay, you're going to a place, you're investigating, you're finding out things about maybe the people who live there and that sort of thing. But there's not really a arc for the investigators themselves. It's like, okay, you could almost put anybody in place. They were going in investigating using this equipment. But sometimes you'll catch a show where throughout, the season, there's something that the investigators are learning about themselves. So it gives them like a character arc throughout the season. Those provide a little bit more depth. So, stuff like that would be great.
You hit the nail right on the head. And here's another thing, just on that same vein. Sometimes what those character arcs and the things that the investigators are going through give you answers more on why it's going on, why certain things are going on. Because I think, especially in the paranormal, we play a major part in sometimes the activity and stuff that we get out of it comes from, like, we fuel that in some way. And I've seen it time and time again. And I think showing that and being able to show the correlation between the two is really important.
Yeah, because you'll be making a connection with somebody that's there, the energy that's there, or what have you. It's because, you are resonating. You are the person that resonates with that person or location or whatever. So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
How difficult was 28 days? I mean, being away from your family seems like that would be the most difficult thing.
I was ready to quit after 7 days.
Oh, wow.
And I'm very competitive, but I was ready to quit. And it wasn't because, oh my God, there was so much activity within that 7 days. It was because it was the first time in my life that I was away from my family for that length of time straight without being able to talk to them on the phone or anything like that.
So you couldn't even talk to them.
Yeah. And I wish they would have explained this a little bit more on the show. So people had a really good idea, but we weren't able to have cell phones. We weren't able to have internet, no TV. The only thing we could do is investigate and read and eat and sleep. And that's it. Like we weren't.
And I know one book that you read.
I read your book. Yes.
You did.
And you know what? It was a lifesaver, man. And I tried.
Yeah.
I wish they would have shown me reading it a lot more. But
there was a shot in there. You could kind of see the cover. It was fine.
Yeah.
Just knowing that it was like, hey, there's Shane reading my book. That was pretty cool. I appreciated that.
Yeah.
Okay,
no,
well,
I appreciate you letting me have that because it saved my sanity a little bit, just being able to disconnect from everything that was going on. But a lot of people also thought, they're like, oh, well, yeah, y'all weren't truly alone because you had cameramen. No, we did not. There was 12 stationary cameras that were set up all throughout the location and the house. And these were like $12,000 cameras. These weren't your run-of-the-mill, just regular static cameras. These were super round. I don't know how to explain it. They were big cameras, but they were on these poles that were set up all throughout the house. That they had somebody in a control room off location that would be moving with us, and they were taking shifts. So it was filming 24/7. They were taking shifts and would move. The cameras would move along with us and film us.
So they had.
We had no.
Wow.
Yeah,
they were robotic.
Nobody in the house. Yeah,
wow.
They were robotic, and there was nobody in the house. That's why a lot of the stuff that was going on, I knew for a fact, because I'm very skeptical, but I'm also, I'm a believer. I'm a skeptical believer. I'd go all throughout that house looking just to make sure nothing was rigged up or anything, because I was very, if there was anybody behind.
Yeah. Did they put you in a fun house or something like that? Right.
Yeah. I was looking, trust me, everywhere. I was looking because I had plenty of time to look. So I was looking everywhere and nothing at all. And nobody was there. There was no hidden doors anywhere that people could pop in and out at night, which is what I thought could happen too.
Yeah.
It's like, could anybody just pop in at any time, do whatever they want, and then leave? No, I made sure I looked everywhere and nothing. And I wish they would have shown that more, because the isolation factor was the crappiest part of the entire experience.
Now, did the locals know you were there? Sorry. Did the locals know you were there? Could they have popped in or out or something?
So here was another really messed up thing about it. So we could go on the front porch and in the backyard, but we couldn't leave the gate. Like there was a gate, and we couldn't walk outside of that gate, but you would see people going about their daily lives and doing their thing and walking their dogs. And they would look over at the house and see us there. But it was almost like we were looking at life literally passing us by, because we couldn't leave the property. We couldn't do anything. We couldn't even talk to them. So when, like, if mail was being brought, we were instructed before we even started the experience, we can't talk to anybody. We just have to stay in our little bubble, and we can't really even interact with anyone, because they wanted the experiment to be like, we're cut off from the outside world, no information coming in, it's us in our little bubble the entire time. So yeah,
did you DoorDash it? I mean, did you have to cook for yourself? Was there a month worth of food?
No. So here, that's a good question. So we every week we would have a grocery list that they said that we can put outside of the door and tape it to the outside of the door.
Gosh.
Yeah, dead serious.
Nope.
Wow.
So like every Friday we would put an order in. Now they said that we can get anything we wanted, so we would get pork chops, steaks, all this stuff. Like you can get whatever you want from the grocery store, right? Or if you need any toiletries or anything like that.
Yeah. But you're
we
not
would
going,
write
and
a
the
list.
delivery person's not coming up to the door.
Exactly. So we would tape it to the door, and while we were sleeping, because they can see the cameras, while we're sleeping, they send a PA, an assistant, to go up and grab the list, and then they would get the stuff early morning before we would wake up and drop it off at the front door. And so we didn't even interact with anybody then. We would just see bags of groceries, our order being on the front porch. Yeah.
It's the same way here. Little gnomes come. You just can't order ice cream that way.
So I love that now. I hate going grocery shop. I hate shopping in general. I think, I mean, it's a waste of time to me. I hate it. So I would love that now, but then it was like, I would give anything just to go to the store, to the gas station, interact with anybody. I mean,
just a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So you had to do all your own cooking and stuff. It wasn't just like microwave meals.
Well, I didn't. Ray did, because
okay.
I'll burn water if I'm not careful. So, so yeah, he cooked. He was great. I mean, he cooked very, very well. So I gained probably about 15 pounds. I'm kidding, of course, but I gained a good amount being there. Yeah.
I mean, could you at least go out in the backyard, stretch your legs a little bit, exercise? I mean,
yeah. So we could. Luckily the backyard was fairly large, so we could walk around. We could do push-ups. We could do whatever we wanted out in the backyard. And I say it was completely horrible, but we were in a mansion, so I mean, you can't really complain too much.
Yeah, nice place, but yeah.
So we had an industrial sized kitchen. I mean, it was a very nice place. It's just the circumstances were. Yeah. It would have been better if you could have your phone sometimes, or if you can leave, and but I think that would defeat the whole purpose of the experiment. But
right. It was a social experiment. So yeah.
But you had a cemetery attached to the place, didn't you?
No, that was Captain Grant's.
Oh, okay. Somebody did. Okay.
And we didn't even know those locations until we saw the show. Like, we didn't even know what in the world was going on.
Yeah.
And we didn't even know really the teams that were going into.
The others involved.
Yeah. We had ideas of who would be involved, but we weren't 100% sure. And here's another thing with that show is we got plane tickets to go to Denver, Colorado, right? And I was thinking, man, this is Netflix. So we're going to the Stanley. We're going to go to the Hotel. We are gonna be living it up, and this is going to be awesome. And so they blindfolded us. They put us in this Suburban, and they blindfolded us once we landed, and once we got to our hotel. They blindfolded us and said, "Okay, you're going to go to location, and we're not going to let you see where we're going." So they blindfold us, and we drive all the way there. And I've been investigating, Mike, you know this too. I've been investigating for many years now. And so I know a lot of locations. I had no clue about the Lumber Baron Inn. I've never heard of it from before. So whenever we took the blindfold off, that reaction was genuine. I was like, holy hell.
Where am I?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was kind of disappointed too, because I was like, man, this is a beautiful location, but this is not the Stanley. I was thinking it's going to be Stanley Hotel. They're gonna rent that out for however long because it's Netflix. And I was mistaken. But that location that we were at really sticks with me to this day. I mean, there's something very special about that place, and the spirits inside. I believe still have stories to tell, and it's such an amazing location.
Kind of a once in a lifetime experience for you.
For sure. I'm very blessed. I mean, of course you wish that things were portrayed differently. I think if people saw more of the investigative side of things, I think that would have been great, because there were so many things that they didn't show. If you think there was 3 teams and we were filming 24/7, so that's over 600 hours each team.
Right. It's a lot of footage.
That's over 2,000 hours of footage, right?
Yeah.
For 28 days. And they cut it down to a 3.5 hour season.
Wow.
So you just imagine how many hours of footage that you miss. So there were so many things that I wish they could have shown.
They could have done
Do a bonus
and
disc.
I only saw the first season of it, but they could have done like Big Brother, where it's like, yeah, you have the television show each week or whatever, but then you had like the website where you go and they had a couple of live cams that you could tune into and that sort of thing.
Yeah, that or even if they did, they cut it up into 3 seasons. So the first season they focused on one location, then the next season they did the other location. Kind of switch it up so you can show a little bit more of what was going on. So there was some changes that I would probably, if I was producing it, I would have made. But overall, I'm a very blessed guy. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you're TV Shane Pittman or whatever," but no, I don't view myself that way. I'm a normal guy that gets to do a lot of extraordinary things, and I'm super blessed. Super blessed.
Yeah. People don't know you, and I've known you for a little while here, Shane. I mean, you're very down to earth, and we can just kick back, have a beer together or whatever, and just
wine, your wine too.
Oh, and the wine, yes.
Yeah,
there's the wine, yeah.
Yeah, man, and I value y'all's friendship too. I mean, of course we're doing the show, but no, I mean, there's some really special people out there, and I consider y'all in that list. So.
You're on my list. I'm bringing you something at Lone Star. Mike already knows, but
yeah. Well, let's bring it back to Beacon a little bit, because that's what we're trying to highlight here. So StreamBeaconTV.com is where
are you going to do
up.
another? Sorry, are you going to do another version of 28 Days Haunted on Beacon, or something with a different name?
So you got to be super careful with that. But again, that's not off the table, because we have the creative freedom to basically do what we want. So you never know. Okay. We may do something, but we just have to be careful not to do the same storyline as they did, because that would be wrong. So we couldn't do that.
Yeah. So, and in that vein, Luke asked me, I wonder, are you going to play any survival shows? Which that's kind of, I mean, you had to survive going insane, being locked up for 28 days.
Well, we've been in talks, and I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah.
But we've been in talks on something somewhat like that, but on a haunted island.
Oh, there you go.
That we've heard of. So yeah. So I don't want to give too much away, because you never know who's watching, and next thing we'll see a Netflix original with that idea. So I got to be
the one
super
with the dolls. Sorry, is it the one with all the dolls?
No, it's not. It's actually it's even freakier than that. So.
Oh wow. Okay.
Wow. I'll go with you if you need somebody.
Yeah.
I'll be your gaffer.
It'd be awesome. It'd be awesome.
Tracy is wondering if there'll be one episode specials, like just one location for like an after school special. So I guess like just a one-off episode or something.
Yeah. So we have already started doing that a little bit with Mike and Marilyn's show, Paranormal, which is basically an everyday guy with Mike, and Marilyn's kind of showing him the ropes on this whole paranormal thing, and taking him to different haunted locations, and you're just seeing that dynamic unfold, and you're seeing Mike kind of, who's brand new to everything, soaking in on that experience. And there's a lot of comedy involved with that, because Mike, if you've ever met Mike Galliano before, he's an eccentric guy. He's very goofy. I'll say that. Okay. But I think their dynamic with each other is really cool. And we're going to be coming out with more episodes of that. Those are in the pipeline. But there's some after cuts. There's some episodes, some things they did outside of their normal investigation that we're going to be airing on the platform. So yeah, we have those things in the works for sure.
Very, very cool. Sarah is also wondering, do Beacon users have the ability to give feedback on a show, tell you what they like and don't like, and develop more curated content?
Very good question again, Sarah. Yeah, so we're working on that. So again, we just launched the end of July at the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. And so there's still we're still going through the phases of building out more of the app, the Beacon app, and the website. Short answer is yes. Yes, there's a way to do that. You can email us. We also have, I believe, where you can leave feedback on the show itself. So if you go on the app, there's a spot where you can leave feedback, a thumbs up, things like that. And we're listening to the viewer. So if there is something that you would prefer seeing versus what you're seeing now, or if there's ideas on a show that you think would be great, or ideas on the current show that you think you'd like to see, we're open to listening. Not saying that we can make all of that stuff happen, but we're listening, and we'll do what we can to do everything we can to make things as best as they can be.
Now, are you dropping new content on a weekly or monthly basis, or is it just whenever it shows up?
So right now it's kind of all over the place, because we're working on the technical side of things, making the app function as best as we can, and the website function seamlessly, which thankfully it's been going well with that. I do know that we have been consistently uploading content onto the platform, and by it's all said and done, by the end of the year, it's going to be over 50 hours worth of content that you're able to watch on top of what we already had. And then come next year, there's going to be over 250 hours that's going to be on the platform. Plus, you're going to be seeing a lot of Beacon originals come into play as well. So there's going to be.
You said you're doing some live content too, right? So that
So if you've ever watched Haunted Salem live when it was on Travel Channel and Discovery Plus, and they had the Ghost Brothers, and they had Dave and Cindy on there, and they had Chip Coffee and all of that, and it was a live show. We have the same capability to do that. That's a live produced show with lower thirds and with the HD 4K quality that you're used to seeing on the networks. We have the capability of doing that with our live streams. So we have a lot in the works with that. So we're excited.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now, are you going to have any format or any program or content that deals with like the woo-woo, or is this all going to be like true crime haunted stuff?
The woo-woo.
Well, the woo-woo's coming. Woo-hoo.
Be like consciousness type of programming.
Oh yeah,
psychic stuff.
All of that's on the table. So I mentioned Sherry DeBenedetti, and we're doing some things. I can't really say much, but as somewhat in that vein. But her scientific side versus some other things. I'm being very vague because I can't really say much. But yes, we are focusing on all aspects of the paranormal as much as we can. And again, it's what viewers have been saying they wanted, and we're going to try to deliver it. So I'm excited about it for sure.
What's so what's a subscription there, like monthly, yearly, those sorts of
so rates, there's monthly and the basic monthly is like $4.99 a month, but we're working on things beyond all of that. So just if there's I know there's some people out there that are not able to afford the monthly, and we've got teams working on stuff behind the scenes. So but yes, $4.99 a month for the basic monthly, and then there's what we call the legacy annual membership, and I believe it's $79.99 for the year, but you get 2 months free. And also with our legacy annual members, any Beacon run events or any Beacon events, they get free general admission to. So
great.
There's value. We try to give back because I know even $79 for the year, that's a lot of money. But any general admission ticket, you're going to be paying more than that, depending on what convention or event that you're doing. So we try to give back in that way because we know that that's people's hard-earned money. At the same time, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, here's another streaming platform we had to pay for and things like that. And I completely get that. But all of this productions and stuff, it's not free. And it's
a lot of work.
We try to make it as affordable as we can. And we're never raising those prices. That's one thing that we've promised our viewers and our subscribers is we're not going to raise those prices. It's going to stay the same. But the reason why we have to charge a little bit right now is because it costs money to produce these things at the network quality level that you're used to watching on these other networks. It costs a little bit of money, and we're doing all of this basically in-house. So it takes a little bit to try to knock all that production out.
And you have Karen here saying it's not too bad of a price for the year. Not a lot of good TV these days. And I saw up above she was looking at going ahead and subscribing for that, which is great. But Shane, I'll say this.
Thank you so much for that. I'm sorry, I know I don't mean to cut you off, but thank you. I mean, I appreciate the support. Again, we wouldn't be doing any of this stuff if it wasn't for all of you, and that's the God's honest truth. Because a lot of days it's a headache, and there's a lot involved, and really, it's a lot. It's a lot of work, but we're doing it for all of you that have been missing the content, missing all of the programming that you're used to watching. We want to bring that back, and we want to bring it back better. So I really do appreciate all of you.
Yeah, and Shane, I would say at those price points, those are excellent price points. So and I know you, and you have that wonderful heart, but I'll just say don't be too apologetic for it, because at those prices, I mean, the one thing about streaming these days, even though so many services are raising their prices, you get to pick and choose what it is that you want to watch. So back in the day when it was cable, you had 1,000 channels, but you probably watched 5, 8, maybe 10 at the most of those. But nowadays you get to pick and choose, the things that you want to watch. So at that price point, that's great. If people want paranormal content, boom, they go to you. They go to StreamBeaconTV.com.
Absolutely.
Okay, 2 questions.
And I will tell you, sorry, real quick. Again, for those that you truly cannot afford it to, there's things in the pipeline.
Good.
That's all I can say right now, but I promise you that we are working on your behalf as well. So yeah.
Any Black Friday specials?
That's a very there wasn't, but there could be. And
okay,
again, we can make that happen. We'll make that happen. Yeah, there will be specials that come out. That's a very good point, by the way. Yeah.
Can you have
thank you for
the Rick Secker 10 special or something?
Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah, there we go. Sure. Yeah. No, I'll promote it for you.
It's a good. That hasn't been in discussion just because we have so many things that we're working on simultaneously. But we will make a Black Friday deal happen.
All right.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. I have 2 questions for you. Go away. Crap, I forgot the first one. Oh, what kind of beacon events do you have? And secondly, do you have merch that we can get to help support you?
Very good questions. So merch is being worked on right now. We will be making announcements on that very soon. But we've had a lot of people ask about like beacon t-shirts and things like that. We're getting that worked on as we speak. And I don't know how much I can say with this too. We're working on a beacon convention too.
Nice.
There we go. That'd be
There will
great.
be more info coming as we progress, but I don't want to give any time frames or dates or anything like that yet. I just let you know that is in the works. So
more of a convention, not an investigation type thing, more meet and greet, meets people.
Well, and more driven to it. I can't say too much, but you know how StreamBeaconTV.
Don't get them in trouble, Victoria.
StreamBeaconTV.com is about the paranormal, true crime, and horror genres right now, right? So the convention, you'll be able to see not just your paranormal celebs, but you'll be able to see others as well.
Okay.
And those respective genres. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I'll say for now.
If you need vendors, let me know.
There you go.
You got it.
So I have to throw this one down there from Sarah. Could put Shadow Dimension on there.
Absolutely. And again, so here's one thing that
but that's distributed through Film Hub, so if you'd have to go through them for that, or if you work with them at all.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'll look into that anyway, so that's fine. But yeah, we work with a variety of them, but Film Hub is one of them. So yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying, Jimmy John Jimbo is independent. If you're interested,
not a part of Mike Ricksecker at all, right?
No.
Yeah, but I'll look into that. So Shadow Dimension, I'll look into that.
Okay.
What was I going to say? Now I completely forgot. Now I've lost my whole train of thought.
That's all right. Well, maybe you'll remember for the after show, because we'll have you a few minutes for there. So speaking of, awesome. We are getting down to the wire here. So before we do kick over to the after show for Connected Universe Portal members, so where does the name Beacon come from? What's the inspiration for that? What's the story behind it?
So I get to take the credit for the name. And we were spitballing different names, like, okay, well, what are we going to call this thing? I really didn't want to have it where there's paranormal in the name. Like, for whatever, I didn't want it to, I wanted it to leave it open to where we could service more genres than just the paranormal, because there's a lot of great content out there that, of course, there's a lot in the paranormal field, but like there's subsects of that. There's spirituality. There's, true crime. There's a lot of true crime crossover where people love true crime. The people who love true crime love the paranormal. And I was thinking, it just came to me. I was like, what about Beacon? Because it's like, we're kind of a guiding light to your new shows that you want to watch. And we're kind of like a beacon, a source to where your guide to all things paranormal, true crime, horror, and that's it. Just
spirituality. If you start getting more of that content, because it's all related, it's all connected. So
yeah. So it's just like we're the kind of the light that's going to show you the way to your new favorite content. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight, Shane. Absolutely appreciate it. So everybody, Stream Beacon.
It's always a pleasure.
Yes, StreamBeaconTV.com. The link is down in the description. Those that are listening to the audio version of this later, type, but it's in the description of the podcast descriptions too. So, so we're going to kick over to the after show. So we're going to bid adieu to all of those on the live stream on YouTube. So again, ConnectedUniversePortal.com. Join us every Wednesday night, 8:00 p.m. Eastern Time. Shane Pittman at StreamBeaconTV.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Time really exists.